Maybe you can just describe the events of that evening from your perspective, and maybe the events leading up to it.
So,
general terms.
So you had definitely been kind of going through something spiritual, but it was all very positive. Like you were doing a lot of self-healing and going through a lot of like past traumas and past experiences. There was a lot of very positive things about what you were going through. So I didn't feel like there was anything wrong with what you were saying, expressing, feeling, up until that date in February. You started saying some things that were just very not like you, very out of character. It just was kind of very alarming, and I just knew that it was not you, and it just changed so rapidly. And throughout all of that whole experience, you also, throughout the evening, became very inconsolable. Like I've never seen you even remotely like that, even close to that in my life. Like you were just inconsolable, like nothing could help. You were just going through something so awful and traumatic with what had come into your body, the negative influence in your body that had taken over and just told you lots of untrue things and evil things and just not positive things, a lot of just very negative things. And it just had basically taken over inside you, and it just felt like a part of you had just been taken away, and you were just not the same person at all. Throughout all that. And I've never experienced that. I know you haven't either, but just to also go through that in such a short period of time as well. There was a build-up leading up to it, and it was all good, and then it was just really not good.
Yeah, I was terrified, right? And I guess you were not accustomed to seeing me in that state.
Yeah. Yeah,
Safe to say.
Yeah, where nothing could help. A few things help, but like nothing of that actually helped change anything.
Yeah, we were a burning sage.
Playing music, yodeling music.
Okay, talk about the yodeling music.
I just went through a playlist of songs that were like, that would make us happy and smile and laugh and stuff like that. And this one specific song, I don't remember what it was called, but it was basically just all yodeling. And it was ridiculous and over the top. But when you were doing that, like when we were playing that music over the speakers in our living room, you got nauseous. So we played that song probably, honestly, like maybe 30 times over and over again. And then through that, you just got really sick and nauseous, and you were just like vomiting something out of your mouth onto the carpet. And it was just something, and each moment that you were doing that, I think you did feel a little bit lighter, a little bit better. Obviously not 100%, but each little bit of that did help you move forward slightly. And then, yeah.
What did that look like? I feel like I was screaming, wasn't I?
Oh yeah, screaming, just full blown, like beyond anxiety. It was just
like
beyond,
wrapped in a blanket on the couch, just screaming.
Yeah, it was very scary. It was very sad. It was a lot to witness and go through. And I'm like, just for me to watch and go through and see my husband like experiencing this, it was awful. And then just knowing can't even imagine what you're feeling inside.
How did you feel when Joshua came over?
Yeah, Joshua came over late. It was very late. When he came over, it all felt quite extreme, because I've just never experienced obviously anything like this. But it just felt very extreme, but I felt like that was what needed to happen. Like it was just like, words can't describe the experience and what you were like. And once he came over and once he started praying for you and basically doing an exorcism in our living room.
Just describe what that looked like.
I was standing in the kitchen. You were sitting on the couch and he was just above you with his hand on your head and just praying for you, and had the Bible out and was just like over and over just praying. And he asked you, do you give your life to, do you accept Jesus into your life? And you completely just surrendered in that moment because you're wanting to do anything that could help you. And through that experience, you were definitely saved because you became, just like a negative part just left, which Joshua did mention that. I remember standing in the kitchen and just kind of looking, and I saw like a vaporous kind of smoke in the air. And I remember just thinking what the hell is that? I was like, am I seeing things? What is that? I was like, I've never experienced that ever. So I had that feeling, and then we didn't find out till months and months later that Joshua described the same thing.
This vapor or smoke or whatever.
Which was extra solidified that we know what happened was real and true, and it was scary.
Well, let's just call it what it is. What happened that night?
It was an exorcism. You had a demon attached to you. Something negative got into you.
Did you believe in any of that stuff before this happened?
Not to this extent.
You kind of knew it was a thing, but not...
Yes.
But it's hard to...
Yeah, it's we all watch movies. We all do all these, there's all these things that make you think that, oh yeah, that's a real thing. Oh yeah, it could be possibility. But to actually physically witness it for myself was very intense.
What did it do to you?
It's definitely changed the direction of our life. Changed how we view things differently.
Why didn't you leave me?
Because I love you. And I knew that wasn't you. I know that wasn't you. Something negative got into you with everything you had been exploring with the spiritual side. And because you didn't protect yourself, and now, you know more on how to protect yourself. And I just knew that wasn't you. And yeah.
But I've continued to explore spiritually, right? Mm-hmm. And it has made you uncomfortable a little bit at times for fear of this kind of thing happening again. Mm-hmm. But you've stayed with me.
I feel like in the beginning, it's like anything where you're just kind of learning something, you're just figuring something out. We all make mistakes, you're learning something new. You don't fully realize the weight of what you are learning on a spiritual level and the negative impact it can have. Mm-hmm. And even though you're just, enjoying yourself, there's a lot of positive things, just playing around, you don't fully realize what you are playing with until that moment. And I think because of that, it's one of those hard lessons learned. I don't ever feel like that will ever happen again because of how to take care of yourself, what to do, how to handle the situations. Mm-hmm. And I don't ever foresee that happening again. And also because that negativity and how you were in those moments and the negative parts around that event, you are nothing like that now. I've never seen that ever again. And it's been years, over 3 years since that happened.
Mm-hmm. And what do you say to people that think that this is a psychological issue?
It's hard to explain to people that don't understand. when people don't fully grasp or understand the different avenues of this world and the spiritual world, it's really hard to describe to somebody or try to convince somebody. So I don't need to convince anybody anymore. Like, we know what happened was real. We know that that was true and it was scary. And if people don't want to believe it, eventually they will. Like, eventually something will happen to people and they will understand that this can be a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And also the fact that it hasn't changed you in a negative way. I don't think people should be worried about you in that sense.
So you don't believe it was a psychological event?
No.
You believe it was a spiritual event?
Yes, absolutely.
How do you feel about Joshua?
Joshua basically saved your life that night, and in that saved mine, because if he wouldn't have came over, I don't know what I could have done. Like, there's literally, when you feel just completely helpless, there's literally nothing you can do to make somebody feel better when they're just like, it's beyond low. It was beyond the level of anything that I could have done. There's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But we got the help that you needed. And that helps me, because seeing you back to your normal self was all we wanted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything else you want to say? You can say anything you want.
As crazy as it sounds, when you've watched a movie that has to do with demons and exorcisms and negative spirits and all that sort of shit, it's fucking real. It's totally real. And I always, like, I've seen all of that sort of stuff and I was like, oh wow, like, that's so fascinating, that's so crazy. It's like, oh wow, well, that's my life. That is what happened to our life.
Yeah, it happened for real.
Mm-hmm. But there's so much good. The good, that was just like, the bad was like such a small, it was a huge impacting day, evening, that the positive has outweighed the negative like times a million. Is there anything you'd like to say?
I love you.
I love you too.
I've said this to you a million times, but I feel like anybody else would have just been like, this is enough. I don't get this. I don't understand what's going on. I don't like this. This is scary and fucked up. And I'm leaving. And they would have been justified.
And I thought a lot of those things that you just described, minus the I'm leaving, like, yes, of course. I was like, this is scary. This is fucked up. Like, what is my life? Like, this is what I signed up for? Oh my God. Like, this is insane. Like, I can't believe this is happening to me. Like, what's going on with him? Like, yeah, of course. All those things go through your head. Mm-hmm. But it was never in my mind to be like, you know what? He's on his own. Fuck this. Like, I've done all I can do. That just never crossed my mind.
Would you say I'm the same guy you married?
No. Yes and no. But for good reasons. I love you then and I love you now. You're just growing and you're evolving, like, as we all should as we get older.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a pretty drastic evolution, I'd say.
Yeah. Especially from when I met you to now. It's been 9 years. Over 9 years. I've known you for 10 years, I guess. More than 10 years.
Yeah. But living together for 9 years.
Mm-hmm. Huge change.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all for the better. And I feel like if somebody was to have left in this situation, you never would have gotten this far in a relationship with that person, because we've been evolving together.
Mm-hmm.
That person would have been gone like years and years ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thanks for not leaving.
You're welcome.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you for answering questions on camera.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Good. Okay.